Dear students, welcome back to the class. In the previous class, we have seen the postulates of valence bond theory that was proposed by Pauling in order to explain the metal ligand bonding and also magnetic properties and geometries of the metal complexes. We have seen the postulates that central metal atom should contain empty orbital equal to the coordination number, and these empty orbitals will equal to the hybridize to the equivalent number of orbitals equal to the coordination number. And if nd orbitals are involved, such type of complexes are outer orbital complexes. If n minus 1 d orbitals are involved, such complexes are known as inner orbital complexes. And ligands should have one lone pair of electron, and these hybrid orbitals of metal, and they overlap with the fully filled orbitals of the ligand. Okay, these are the postulates of valence bond theory. According to valence bond theory, Pauling said that depending on the hybridization, we can say the geometry of the complex. For example, if the hybridization is sp, that is possible. Uh, Suppose if the coordination number is 2, means 2 empty orbitals are needed, or 2 vacant orbitals are hybrid orbitals are needed. That is possible with sp hybridization. In such case, the geometry should be linear. This is one example. If the coordination number is 3, means 3 empty orbitals or 3 vacant hybridized orbitals are needed for overlapping with the 3 ligands. The possible hybridization is sp2. When the sp2 hybridization is there, the possible geometry is trigonal planar. This is an example. These are the examples. Coordination number 4 means sp3 s and 3p orbitals, means 4 hybrid orbitals are required when coordination number is 4, and the possible geometry is tetrahedral. One more geometry is also possible with coordination number 4, that is square planar, because in this case 2 types of hybridizations are possible. One is sp3 and other one is dsp2. If the hybridization is sp3, that is tetrahedral. If the hybridization is dsp2, square planar. We will be studying in detail about these complexes. If the coordination number is 5, then possible hybridization is sp3d, and the geometry is square pyramid. One more geometry is also possible, that is trigonal pyramidal with dsp2 dsp3 hybridization. So depending on the hybridization, the geometry of the complex is decided. The last one is if the coordination number is 6, only one possible hybridization, that is octahedral, and the possible hybridization is sp3d2 or d2sp3. See here, if you closely observe this here, in these cases, when the coordination number is 5 and when the coordination number is 6, here the hybridization is sp3d. Here the hybridization is dsp3. Here sp3 n d orbital is involved in the hybridization. Therefore, this is outer orbital complex. Here dsp3, inner d orbital is involved in the hybridization. That is n minus 1 d orbital is involved in the hybridization. Therefore, this is inner orbital complex. And similarly, here in the case of sp3 d2 and d2 sp3, in d2 sp3, inner n minus 1 d orbital is involved here. If this is the hybridization, therefore the possible complex which is formed with the d2 sp3 hybridization is inner orbital complex. If outer d orbitals are involved in the hybridization, that is nd orbitals, such type of complex is a outer orbital complex. We will be studying in detail in the further slides in with few examples here. All these we have already discussed. Okay, that the formation of complex compound occurs in the following steps. Let us see again. The ground state electronic configuration of the central metal atom is considered the ground state atom. The metal atom loses electrons. This is very important. Loses electron according to the requirement of the ground state ion electron, according to the oxidation state of that metal atom in the complex or coordination sphere. And the electronic configuration of the central metal ion gets excited, and electrons in the metallic orbitals gets rearranged. The metal atom, the metal ion orbitals undergo hybridization to form the number of empty hybrid orbitals equal to the coordination number of the central metal atom. the orbitals of the ligands containing lone pair of electrons, the orbitals, these vacant hybridized orbitals from the metal atom, they will overlap with the filled orbitals of the ligand and they form a coordinate covalent bond. And in this valence bond theory, when you show the orbitals, you will be showing with circles. This I will show in an example, taking an example, and the electrons are shown in half arrows. Okay. And the orbitals involved in the hybridization are enclosed within a rectangular box. Let us see. See here. I have taken first the tetrahedral complexes. What is tetrahedral complex? What is the geometry of tetrahedral complex? This is the geometry. And what should be the hybridization for the tetrahedral complex? It is a sp3. sp3 hybridization. So according to valence bond theory, we should show the orbitals in a circular one. See here. And these are the half arrows are the electrons here. Half arrows are the electrons here. And the hybridization is shown in this square box. Okay. Now let us see the first example. This is tetraamine nickel 2 ion. Tetraamine nickel 2. If there is a oxidation state, we have to indicate ion here. We have to write ion. Since there is an oxidation state, there is no anion here to satisfy this valency. So this is only ion, complex ion is there. We have to write ion at the end of the complex ion, at the end of the name ion, space ion. So what is the central metal atom here? Nickel. What is the electronic configuration? So what is atomic number? 28. With 28, what is the electronic configuration? 3d8, 4s2. 3d8, 4s2. It is the outer electronic configuration. So what is the oxidation state of nickel here? It is a +2. So what we have to do in order to get this +2 oxidation state, we have to remove 2 electrons from this 4s shell. Now what is the outer electronic configuration of nickel +2 ion? It is only 3d8 and 4s0 is empty. Because +2 is the oxidation state, we have removed 2 electrons. According to Hund's rule, this possesses 2 unpaired electrons. Let us see here. This is a normal ground state electronic configuration of outer electronic configuration of nickel, that is 3d8, 4s2. See here, 3d8. How many orbitals will be there in d shell? 5 orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. S1, P3. So 3d8 means you have to follow the Hund's rule by filling the electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 6, 7, 8. 4s2. 2 electrons are accommodated here. So what is the oxidation state of nickel in this complex? It is +2. Nickel +2 means we have to remove 2 electrons. 2 electrons should be removed from s orbital here. S orbital here. Now see how many ligands are there? There are 4 ligands. There are 4 ligands. According to VBT rule, the nickel should provide vacant orbitals equal to the number of ligands or equal to the coordination number. Coordination number is 4 here. Coordination number is 4. 4 ligands are there means 4 coordination number. So how many vacant orbitals should be provided by nickel? 4 vacant orbitals. So in S is 1 vacant orbital is there. So other 3 orbitals should be from 4p. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vacant orbitals are there. And what is the next rule? These vacant orbitals should undergo hybridization. So there is 1s orbital and 3 p orbitals, they undergo sp3, 1s, 3p. So sp3 hybridization and form 4 equivalent sp3 hybridized orbitals. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these individual s and p orbitals will become hybridized sp3 vacant orbitals. Now since nickel is having 4 hybridized sp3 vacant orbitals, this ammonia, each ammonia will donate a pair of electron to the nickel and form a coordinate covalent bond. Since there are 4 ammonias into each of these orbitals, by each of the ammonia will donate a pair of electron here, like this here. These dotted lines, these dotted half arrows are the electrons donated by ammonia ligand. So the hybridization is shown in this square bracket, and the electrons gained from the ligand is shown with the dotted lines here. So with sp3 hybridization, what is the possible geometry? It is tetrahedron. How do you write tetrahedron? See here, nickel, you have to write the central metal atom at the center here. What is the central metal atom? Nickel. With the oxidation state is +2. You have to indicate the oxidation state +2. And at the corners of this shape, tetrahedron, you have to indicate the ligands. What is the ligand here? Ammonia. Therefore, write ammonia molecules here. So now say this is the electronic configuration of this complex ion. If you observe this electronic configuration, these three orbitals are having paired electrons, whereas these two orbitals, see, only one electron is here and one electron is here, and these are unpaired. What are these? These are unpaired electrons. And we all know that to show the magnetic momentum, there should be at least one unpaired electron. But here there are two unpaired electrons, means this is showing magnetic momentum, and it is paramagnetic, not diamagnetic. Since there are two unpaired electrons, this is paramagnetic. So if you summarize this one, the magnetism is paramagnetic. What is the hybridization? It is sp3. And what is the geometry of the complex? It is tetrahedron. So these are the basic things of this complex. Now let us see this VBT with other example. Now let us take this example. Tetrachloridum or tetrachloronickelate. Why nickelate? Why 8 is here? Because this is negatively charged ion, complex ion. We have to write 8 at the end. And what is the charge on this nickel? Chloro is -1. So 4 chloros are there, -4, -2. So 4 - 2 +2. +2 is the charge on the central metal ion nickel. Since this is only ion, is there any anion here? Chloride. Are there any groups? There are no other groups. This is only one ion is here. So we have to indicate right ion here. Now, what is the oxidation? What is the nickel electronic configuration, outer electronic configuration? 3d8, 4s2. What is the oxidation state of the nickel here? +2. Means we have to remove 2 electrons from 4s, as we have seen in the previous case. It is same as we have seen here. See, here also nickel +2, here also nickel +2. Only there is a variation of ligand here. So this is the oxidation state of nickel +2, 3d8, 4s0. So what is the coordination number here? 4. Means 4 ligands are there, 4 is the coordination number. So nickel ion should provide 4 vacant orbitals for the formation of, for the hybridization. So 4s is vacant here. Next we have to take the next orbitals, that is from 4p, 3 4p orbitals. So s and 3 4p orbitals, they undergo hybridization to form equivalent number of 4 equivalent number of vacant sp3 hybrid orbitals. So into these vacant sp3 hybrid orbitals, chloride ion, by donating electron pair, they form a coordinate covalent bond. So since the hybridization is sp3, the geometry is tetrahedron. See, this is the tetrahedron geometry. So how do you place the atoms or molecules in this geometry? You have to write the central metal atom here at the center. What is the central metal atom? Nickel, that is having +2 charge. So right here. And the 4 ligand should be written here in the corners here. See here. So if we summarize this, the hybridization is sp3, geometry is tetrahedron. And is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Are there any unpaired electrons here? Yes, there are 2 unpaired electrons here. This means this is showing magnetism. This is a paramagnetic complex. So hybridization is sp3, geometry is tetrahedron, and it is a paramagnetic complex. Let us see few other examples. This is another example. What is the name of this complex? Is this complex ion or simple complex? Is this neutral or ionic? Is there any charge here? No, there is no charge here. In the previous case, there was a charge here, -2. So we have written ion here. But in this case, there is no charge here. So no need of writing any ion here. This is neutral. So what is the name of this complex? How many, what is the ligand here? Carbonyl. How many carbonyl groups are there? 4. Therefore, tetracarbonyl. Since this is a neutral complex, that is the charge is 0, you have to write only nickel. And 0 is the oxidation state. Whereas in the previous case, since the charge is -2, since this coordination pair is anion, we have written 8. 8. We have added 8 to the central metal atom. This is according to the IUPAC rules. Okay. So charge is 0 here. So what is the electronic configuration? Outer electronic configuration of nickel, that is 3d8 4s2. So do we have to remove any electrons from s orbital? No, because the charge here is 0. No need, should not remove any electron from the nickel. Okay, so what is the electronic configuration of nickel in this complex? It is the same, 3d8 4s2. But one thing you have to remember here is the ligand here. That the ligand here is carbonyl. This is carbonyl ligand and is a very strong field ligand. It influences these d orbitals very strongly. D orbitals of nickel very strongly. So what happens in the carbonyl approaches, the electrons which are there in the s orbital, they will rearrange in the 3D. They will come and rearrange in the 3D. See here, this is the nickel electronic configuration 3d8 4s2. This is the excited state. Excited state means when the carbonyls approach this nickel, what will happen? The 2 electrons from 4s orbital, they will come here and they will pair up with the already present 3d orbitals here. Now a vacant 4s orbital is created here, and we have 4 carbonyl groups here, that is 4 coordination number is 4, means we need 4 vacant orbitals. So one is from 4s and the other 3 should be taken from the next shell, that is 4p. So the hybridization here is 1s 3p or 4p orbitals, that is sp3 hybridization. This sp3 hybridization will create 4 equivalent sp3 hybridized orbitals. Now into these 4 equivalent sp3 hybridized orbitals, the ligand, that is carbonyl, it will donate a pair of electrons into each of these orbitals and they form a coordinate covalent bond. So since the hybridization is sp3, this is the geometry. And what is the ligand here? Since this is a carbonyl ligand is there, you have to write carbonyl at each end of this, at each corner of this tetrahedron. Now if you observe this carefully, are there any unpaired electrons here? No, there are no unpaired electrons here. All electrons are paired up. So it will not show any magnetic property. Therefore, this is a diamagnetism, diamagnetic in nature. So if you summarize this complex, the hybridization is sp3, geometry is tetrahedron, and it is diamagnetic in nature. Okay, understood? Let us take one more example. Now, till now we have seen tetrahedral complexes. Now let us see a few examples of square planar complexes. Let us take this example first. Nickel. So is this an ion or neutral molecule? This is an ion and the charge here is -2. So we have to write 8 at the end of the metal ion name. So how many ligands are there for? What is the ligand here? Cyano. So tetracyano nickel. And since the charge on the coordination pair is -2, you have to write 8, nickel 8. And what is the oxidation number or oxidation state of this nickel? -4. Each cyano will be having -1 charge. Therefore, so 4 - 2 + 2. So +2 is the charge on nickel. And this is an ion. So you have to write, give some space and write ion here. Now the central metal atom is nickel, that is having +2 charge. We all know the outer electronic configuration of nickel is 3d8 4s2. See here, 3d8 and 4s2. Since the charge here is +2, the electronic configuration now becomes 3d8 4s0. 3d8 4s0. And I have already told you that carbonyl is a strong field complex. It's a very strong ligand here. Like carbonyl, cyanide here is also a very strong ligand. So whenever this cyanide approaches this nickel, here also the electrons will rearrange. They will have a strong impact on the d orbitals of the metal whenever there is a strong field. What are the strong field ligands? Carbonyl and cyanide. These are strong field ligands. So in these cases, rearrangement of electrons will be taking place. So these two electrons, which are there in the d orbital, they will rearrange. They will get paired up. This will come this side. It will get paired up. See here. Now, a vacant d orbital is created because of the rearrangement of the electrons in the 3d orbital. So we have one d orbital and one 4s. How many vacant orbitals are needed? See here, what is the coordination number? 4. We need 4 vacant orbitals, but we have only 2. So now consider the next shell, that is 4p. So 2 are already there. We have to take 2 more orbitals from 4p. So 1d, 1s and 2p orbitals. So the hybridization possible is dsp2. This 1d, one 3d orbital, one 4p orbital and one 3d orbital, one 4s orbital and two 4p orbital, they will overlap and form or hybridize. They will form 4 dsp2 hybridized orbitals. See here, the one which are indicated in the square dotted square bracket are hybrid orbitals. See here, this one is not hybrid. This is not involved in the hybridization. This 4p orbital is same. So with these 4 empty dsp2 hybrid orbitals into these 4 cyano ligands will donate a pair of electrons and form a coordinate bond. What is the geometry here? dsp2. What is the hybridization here? dsp2. What is the possible geometry with this hybridization? That is square planar. How do you write square planar? You have to write square planar like this, square planar. So you have to write the metal atom at the center of the square planar. What is the metal atom with nickel? Oxidation state is +2. So write the metal atom with its oxidation state at the center. And what are the ligands here? CNs. CN. So indicate the ligands at each corner of the square planar. Now, if you observe the electronic configuration here, are there any unpaired electrons? No. Therefore, this is diamagnetic, not paramagnetic. Now, summarize this one. What is the hybridization? dsp2. What is the geometry? Square planar. And what is the magnetism here? It is diamagnetic. Okay, this is diamagnetic. Let us see one more example. Tetramine copper 2. So if you see this, there is a negative charge on this coordination sphere. What is the charge? -2. So whenever there is a negative charge on the coordination sphere, you have to write 8, copper cuprate here. Sorry, the name cuprate. Okay. Cuprate. Okay. So the name of this complex is, there are 4 amines. So tetramine, cuprate. Why? There is a negative charge, cuprate. And what is the charge here? -2. So you have to write -2 here. Sorry, I'm sorry. This is not -2. This is +2. Okay. So since the +2 is a charge, no need of writing or changing the name here. Since there are 4 ligands here, ammonia molecules are there, tetramine, copper. What is the charge here? +2. So 2. So since this is a ionic coordination sphere, you have to give some space and write ion here. Now, what is the electronic configuration of copper? What is the electronic configuration of copper? 3d10 4s1 or 3d9 4s2. 3d9 4s2 or 3d10 4s1. What is the oxidation state here? +2. +2 is the oxidation state. So you have to remove 2 electrons. That electrons are removed from 4s orbital. Okay, 2 electrons from 4s orbitals are removed. So ideally, what should be the hybridization here? What is the coordination number? 4. When we say this is the possible electronic configuration of copper 2 ion, say here A1s and next 3 orbitals will be involving in the hybridization, we will say. This is the possible theoretical hybridization. But experimentally, it was found that the hybridization of this complex is not sp3 but dsp2. How? Because the geometry of this complex was found to be square planar but not tetrahedron. That's why, based on the experimental results, here the theoretical explanation is given like this. And that dsp2 square planar geometry is possible when there is a possibility of dsp2 hybridization. How that is possible? How that is possible? We need one vacant d orbital here. So how vacant d orbital can be possible when there is electron here? This can only be possible when we shift this electron into this 4p orbital here, like this here. Shift this, there is a rearrangement of this d orbital into 4p orbital here. Now a vacant 3d orbital is created. One 4s orbital is there and two 4p orbitals are there. These 4 orbitals will hybridize into dsp2 hybridization and will give equivalent 4 dsp2 hybrid orbitals. Into these 4 vacant d orbitals, what is the ligand here? Ammonia. By donating a lone pair of electron, it will form a coordinate covalent bond, giving a geometry of square planar. Okay, based on the experimental results, this explanation was given. Shifting of this 3d orbital into 4p. So how to write the square planar complex of this? Write the platinum at the center here with its oxidation state. What is the oxidation state? +2. Indicate +2 here. And in the 4 corners of this square planar, write the ligand. What is the ligand here? Chlorine. So write chlorines here. Okay. So this is an exception here where valence bond theory is conflicting. You have to remember this. Okay. Where this, in this case, valence bond theory is conflicting. According to valence bond theory, ideally it should be sp3 hybridization, but according to experiment, since the geometry was square planar, therefore dsp2 hybridization is explained here. Okay. So till now we have seen tetrahedral complexes and also square planar complexes. Now let us see octahedral complexes. So in tetrahedral complexes and square planar complexes, what is the coordination number? It was 4. Coordination number was 4. Therefore, but here in octahedral complexes, the coordination number is 6. Coordination number is 6. Let us take this example. Okay. If you see this example, this is, what is the name of this complex ion? 6 cyano groups are there. Therefore, hexa, cyano, or you can write it as a cyanido also. See here, there is a negative charge here on the complex ion. Therefore, we have to write 8 at the end of the metal ion, ferrate. And the oxidation state of this iron is +2. 6 minus 4 +2. +2. And since this is the ionic sphere, we have to write ion at the end. Now let us see the geometry of this complex. We know the atomic number of iron is 26. 26, and the electronic configuration is 3d6 4s2. This is the ground state electronic configuration. That is outer electronic configuration. 3d6 1 2 3 4 5 6 4s2. What is the oxidation state of iron in this complex? It is +2. So remove 2 electrons from 4s orbital here. So the configuration will be 3d6 4s0. Now, since iono is a strong field ligand, the electron rearrangement will occur here. Electron in the 3d orbitals rearrange it. Rearrange, they will get paired up. This will come here. It will paired up like this here. And this will also come into this 3d orbital. So all these 6 electrons are paired up in 3d orbitals like this. So what is the coordination number here? Is 6. So whenever the coordination number is 6, What are the possible hybridizations or possible geometry? It is octahedron, and the possible hybridizations are D2sp3 or sp3d2. D2sp3 or sp3d2. Since there are two vacant d orbitals are there, we can say that possible geometry, possible hybridization is D2sp3. So two d orbitals, one 4s orbital and three 4p orbitals, they will hybridize, forming 6 equivalent D2sp3 hybridized orbitals. See here, they are indicated in the square box here. Into these 6 vacant orbitals, the 6 cyano ligands will donate a pair of electrons into each of these, and they form a coordinate covalent bond. Since hybridization is D2sp3, shape is octahedron. When you write an octahedron, you have to write like this. Okay, write a square planar first and two other ligands, one above and below. And these four ligands which are in one plane are known as equatorial ligands, and the other two, which is above and below the plane, are axial ligands. These two are axial bonds, and these four are equatorial bonds. And the bond length of these cyanos, of these equatorial cyanos, each of these equatorial 5 iron will be same, whereas they vary from these axial bonds. Okay, you have to write the central metal atom here, and remaining all positions are indicated with ligand, that is cyano. Now, if you observe this, what is the hybridization here? D2sp3. So, what is another possible hybridization? Sometimes, in some cases, sp3d2. Here, see here 3d orbitals are involved. 3d orbitals. These are n-1 orbitals here. Are there n-1? Yes. This is n orbitals. N orbitals are 4s. N orbitals are 4s here. Here we are in hybridization, n-1 d orbitals are involved here. Therefore, this complex is an inner orbital complex, because inner 3d orbitals are involved. Inner d orbitals are involved in the hybridization. If you observe this, all the electrons are paired up in this complex. Therefore, this is diamagnetic. All inner orbital complexes are mostly low spin complexes. So if you summarize the magnetic properties and geometry hybridization of this complex, the hybridization is D2sp3, geometry is octahedron. Since n-1 D2sp3 orbitals are involved in the hybridization, this is the inner orbital complex and diamagnetic and also low spin complex. Okay, dear students, we'll stop here. In the next class, we'll be learning more complexes, the geometry of some other complexes. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you all.